With the Indigo Disk DLC metagame underway, I thought it would be fun to talk about two metagame staples that seemingly seem like they have fallen off, although not as much, but they're not talked about in the same limelight as they were in DLC 1 metagame. Before I keep going on though, be sure to subscribe, as I know many of you guys watching are not subbed, so if you enjoyed, be sure to tag along. Thank you, and let's get back to the video. The first one that has to be talked about is Ogerpon Wellspring Mask. This was a perk one on the chopping block to be banned from OU, and now it's not even close to that discussion. So what happened? Well, there are new threatening Pokemon that make a good stand up against this Pokemon. We have things like Freeze Dry Kyurem now to take it out pretty quickly, and they're not even older threats back in the OU tier such as Roaring Moon who could acrobatics away swiftly. Another addition that has been a pretty huge problem for it is Serperior. It is very easy for Serperior to come in and resist both stab coverages and then thereafter start boosting its offenses through Contrary and Leaf Storm. Serperior anyways is faster, and Ogerpon doesn't even bother to tear against it because it's then going to be gone even afterwards, because now it's going to be slower and now a pure water type, which I think is a valuable point to bring up because compared to DLC 1, being pure water tear out actually hurts it more than it helps it because it can't tear out to make up for its lackluster defenses compared to the DLC 2 metagame. Water and grass is a solid type combo, but just as before, it is heavily weakened by also the other popular grass type user Rillaboom, who still proves to be a consistent threat within the OU tier even after the Sneasel ban. On top of this, the addition of the new Pokemon of Archaludon has also been pretty huge. This Steel and Dragon type Pokemon resists both stab coverages, and in addition is amazing on the physical defense side of things with Body Press and its ability of stamina in its toolkit. It's even got strong offenses like Draco Meteor, Thunderbolt, Flash Cannon, etc. to obliterate through Ogerpon's middling defenses. Sun teams right now are also pretty popular with the new additions of Paradox forms such as Gouging Fire and Raging Bolt, which cripples the viability of water type moves even further and making it basically mono grass with a couple of coverage moves on its side. There are probably some other Pokemon too, but these are the few first things that came to my mind when I first thought of Ogerpon Wellspring Mask in this metagame. Regardless of this, I think what's really hurting Ogerpon right now is that 3/4 of its moves are taken up by stab and then setup, and then its last move slot is usually like superpower player off, both of which don't really help cover its marquee weaknesses it has offensively right now. In addition, being forced to be purely water during terrestrialization has made it weak to common threats as Rillaboom or Serperior, etc. even further. Don't get me wrong, water is great defensively, but right now it's not favored in the metagame as it once was in DLC 1. Oftentimes when I'm playing on the ladder, I just send either of these two Pokemon out to handle it quite well because I know that puts me in a more advantageous position and then really cripples down the opponent's side of things. I think its speed as well is starting to showcase to be more of a difficulty to handle with because 110 speed is below things like Roaring Moon, Iron Boulder, Serperior, etc., all of which are really popular meta threats right now. And there's no way to boost its speed even because it has to hold the Wellspring Mask, so there goes that. There are just so many new toys, faster threats, and older threats that in combination has put Ogerpon Wellspring Mask in a very awkward position to succeed as much as it did prior to DLC 2 metagame. It's just so awkward, and compared to DLC 1, it is nowhere near for a bannable offense. The second Pokemon to talk about has to be the addition of Gliscor. Gliscor, just like Ogerpon Wellspring Mask, suffers from a couple of similar issues. New threats such as the ones mentioned prior are all consistent staples to which Gliscor has trouble with too. Serperior, just like Ogerpon, is also able to come in, sub, and snowball with its offenses. While Gliscor is great physically, especially it isn't the greatest, so Serperior, even if it's neutral, can still deal a truck ton of damage, even if Gliscor is pretty high in HP. Poison Heal and Protect is a good combo, but oftentimes when I played, if Toxicroak is knocked off, it is quite easy to handle Gliscor and it's just kind of useless there. Plus, there's also so much that Poison Heal and Protect can do to even protect you from Serperior until it takes you out with one Leaf Storm, and then in that case, you're kind of in trouble. Gliscor right now, its main role is to contribute to the hazard metagame and dish out Toxics and EQs. Two of which actually can be handled by Archaludon, who's a popular meta threat right now in the OU tier. Gliscor has all-rise speed as well, so it's able to be taken advantage of especially by things like Kyurem with its ice coverage and even Darkrai with its ice beam. In DLC 1, there were fewer threats that could consistently scare out Gliscor, so its ability to be a defensive anchor was much more valuable because there are not many things threatening it out, which gave it a way to be more destructive in the hazard-filled metagame. In DLC 2, it is hard to justify itself as that supreme anchor, as older threats like Roaring Moon is back, and newer threats like Kyurem, Serperior, Darkrai, Archaludon, etc. all Gliscor doesn't like in a 1v1 matchup are also available. Landorus Theron at least can provide some semblance as utility as a ground and flying type through its Intimidate ability. Tinglu as well right now from playing the ladder oftentimes feels like it's the better ground type user because not only can it set up spikes and stealth rocks, it is also very punishing defensively with its humongous stats and great ability while being equipped with the move Whirlwind, which gets rid of setup monsters on the field, which right now feels super common in the metagame. And Great Tusk, well, its Great Tusk. You guys know what it already does. The one great thing that Gliscor did feels like it's not enough now because of the massive power creep from DLC 2, not to mention other ground types that are able to provide more meaningful utility as a result from this power creep, which Gliscor isn't able to do compared to DLC 1 it feels like. Gliscor is still great, don't get me wrong, but from my experience, it proves to be less and less of a hindrance and less annoying with newfound Pokemon in DLC 2. I tried using Gliscor on this team above on the screen you see, but I find myself in the end having Tinglu more reliable because of its defensive versatility and fitting move pool for this metagame at the moment. Anyways, that's my opinion right now on these two Pokemon. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think, and let me know if any other older metagame staples you think have also fallen off. Thank you to my members for their continued support. If you wish to support me even further, the links to my YouTube membership and Patreon are down below. Comment down below the mask emoji, join the Chompy Discord, and until next time, I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching as always.